want to show some love, give some support to my boy Devin, founder of You Talk Nation. Continuous success, brother. And all I gotta say is, it ain't no me without you, baby.
Ain't no me without you, baby.
It ain't no me without you, baby.
Yeah, you talk, it's the people show. Look, you talk, let the people know. Look, yeah.
This is hurricane season. Only legends come up out there, you like Chris and Teigen. Name a letter better, W, that's what we preaching. Hurricane force winds whenever we breezing. Got rings for a reason. Look, we treat a gator like the swamp people. There's Seminoles like the block people. And for my dogs, I will drive people. Just being frank, I got they flank like a cornerback. And I ain't even much a Florida cat. But hurricanes, I know more of that than most. Cause I seen them turn our houses into boats. That's that real talk, baby. I hope you was taking notes. That's that real talk, baby. Yellow Nation, coast to coast. Is that you talk?
Yeah.
It's you talk, baby.
Yeah.
It's You Talk, baby.
#1 podcast. You Talk family, what go on? What go on? This is your boy D. Y'all see who in the A? My God. Mr. Larry Frank Jr., man, is in the A, man. And y'all know how we start off every show. It ain't no us. Without you, baby. We here. Man, what's going on, Kane Nation? How you guys doing, man? I'm gonna let Larry Frank, man, tell y'all how he's feeling tonight, man, because my boy's in town, man. He's in town for the weekend, man. So, Mr. Frank, man, how's it feel, man, to be in the A, brother?
Man, look, listen, I'm feeling lovely, y'all. I'm feeling lovely. Let me tell you something. I've been busy the last couple of weeks. I've been having to miss the last couple of shows. I'm busy this week, but guess what? I'm here. I'm here. So you know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I'm just feeling great. Glad to be here, man. And then with my boy, with my brother, man, like I say, bro, we had to make it happen, man, live and in living color.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Kane Nation, Utah family, man. What's going on with you guys, man? How everybody doing tonight on a Saturday night, man? We got another look at Latrella, man. She in the building. Latrella, what's going on, sweetness? How you doing? What's up, Trella? We're doing another Saturday night edition. Like I say, Frank was coming to town, so we wanted to do a show and say what's up to everybody, man. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit, man. A little bit of Kane football. There's a lot been going on, and we want to start off the show first by saying a big rest in peace to Sam Bruce, former Miami Hurricane recruit. I don't think he actually played for us because he actually transferred, right? He went to I think it was Ohio State. He actually transferred from us.
I don't remember because once he left, I kind of just lost touch of what he was doing. But you know, he still was a Cane, you know, at one point in time. And you know, I watched Footballville's interview with him recently, like I think early this year or last year. And I started rooting for him, man, just to get that second chance, you know. So man, I was hoping that was just a rumor, a false rumor the other day when that came out. And when I saw it, man, I'm like, nah, bro, this can't be. So, but prayers for him, prayers for his family, you know. So it's pretty bad. Also, and I think they said it was a car accident. Also, Wesley Basaint, he was in a car accident, you know. But they said he should make a full recovery. But I think some people lost their lives in that as well. So just a stroke of bad luck for, you know, the Kane family right now.
Most definitely. So how you guys doing tonight on a Saturday night, man? It's You Talk. Y'all already know what's going on tonight. Devin and Larry Frank Jr. on a Saturday night, man. Let's talk about it, man. Transfer portal. See, we got two guys that already put the names in, Zaylen Worsham and Cameron Williams.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, defensive end. And can y'all tell us who is Nelson Foley?
Yeah, I need to know who that is. Because
Kane in the building.
And I'm gonna beat him too. Yeah, the Bulls out. Yeah, get it. I'm gonna beat you too. I'm gonna do like Eminem and 8 Mile. I ain't gonna even let you have no material to get me. Yeah, I know they out. I know they gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what? Yeah, they out. It is what it is.
Hey, but you know what? QK, man. Hey, look at it. Look at it.
Yeah, put it up. My eyes, man. I knew it was gonna be something like that, man.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Josh? What's happening? James in the house. What's happening?
Jack also in the house, man. What's good? James
What's
Freeman.
going on?
Our brothers, everybody in the house, man. What's going on? Hey, QBK, man, listen. You don't get no stripes for, man, beating up on a team, man, in the first round that know he's supposed to be in the playoffs, man. The Hawks. Okay? And now they're getting lucky now. I think they got to draw with Philly in the next round.
Yeah,
And then
Embiid got the
Joel
orbital bone thing, you know, so their best player ain't gonna be on the floor, man. So
lucky, man. They just hanging tight, ain't they, man? They hanging in there, man.
say, bro, Giannis gonna be waiting for you. Giannis gonna send y'all
Yes,
home
sir.
in the finals, in the conference
Yes, sir.
finals. What's up, James?
James Freeman. In the building, man. James Freeman, man. What's up? There go Josh Ayers, man, in the building. What's going on, man? Mr. Derek Alford is in the building, man. DA, what's up, DA? What's good with you, brother? How you doing? Saturday night, man. You talk, man, with our Utah family, man. What's going on, Kane Nation? How you guys doing tonight? And I wanted to dress up too, man. Shout out to DJ, yes, sir, man. DJ, man, he's gonna be DJing the Utah Hurricane Bash. And I was looking at a couple of the hurricane posts.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people was asking why we promoting the party so early. Well, we're selling tickets, and we want to give everybody the opportunity to try to go ahead and get that ticket because we have to plan for something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't have that bag like that, man. I have to plan ahead of time, man, for stuff, man. So some people don't, you know, don't do that.
Same here.
But I'm just saying, we're promoting early, man, to try so you go and get your tickets.
Yes.
And like I say, you know, you can plan ahead of time. You can plan accordingly. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why.
Get your tickets, man, and like I say, just hey, man, the party part is done, and then later on, you know, you can plan for the game, and then hey, man, you come party with us, man. Hey, what you see here, we're gonna be live and direct and live in color, you know, in the party, man. Gonna be a great atmosphere, great food, great vibe, drinks, no nonsense, no foolishness, and you know, hey, it is what it is. What's up, brother Jay? How you doing, brother Jay? Good to see you.
Blaze in the building. Hey, what you say, John? John say Celtics and 6.
Oh, but Giannis? Nah.
I don't know, John.
Giannis done a right. Giannis is my favorite player, and that's the thing that I was telling everybody.
But I don't know no friend because Middleton hurt. Is Middleton hurt? I think he's still hurt, ain't he?
He got a sprained MCL, I believe. So
yeah, Chris still hurt, man. Look at you, King. Look at your boy. Look at your homeboy.
We just talked about that in the pre-show. We just talked about that. We just talked about how the streak almost ended. You know, and luckily Jonathan Ford got drafted to keep the streak going. But had that streak ended, that would have been on Manny. We were just talking about that.
You know, but I still don't see how Mike Harley hasn't gotten taken yet, though, man. I thought for sure that Mike Harley was at least a fourth or third round pick, but he still ain't got drafted yet, man. That's crazy.
Harley, in my opinion, is one of those guys that he's a steal in a later round because he's an older guy. He's definitely an asset. You know, who doesn't want a receiver that has speed? That really came on like he did. I'm not saying he's a number one. He might not even be a number two, but he's depth. He's depth on somebody's team. So yeah, for Harley not to get drafted. Now, like I say, he might. The undrafted rookies or whatever, undrafted free agents or whatever. He may do something with that. Who knows? So best of luck to him and everybody else. As their journeys and their hopes continue.
Uncle Eddie, Lord, what's going on? Miami, Florida, 305 in the building. Larry Frank, tell them what happened, man, when you were checking in, man. Tell them the coincidence you had.
Listen, I kid you not. I showed it to Devin, and even in our group, we got our group. I put it in the group chat. James Freeman can vouch for it as well. I get down here to the A. I check in, and when I get to the front desk, I swipe my card and everything like that. So they give me how they give you your room key cards in that little fold-out paper. Mm-hmm. So he didn't tell me what room I was in. Normally they tell you what room you're in. So, hey, Miss English, how you doing? So he didn't tell me what room I was in. So he hands me the little paper, and I'm getting ready to go up. So he just says you're on the 3rd floor. I said, all right, cool. So I get up and I look, open it up, 305. I said, man, you know what? God know I'm a Kane at heart. He know why I'm here. He know why I'm here. He know I'm here on official Kane business. So when I saw it, I'm in room 305. I'm like, oh yeah. you know that's a good sign, man. So man, it just, hey, bro, it just made me feel good, man. I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, it just goes to show you, man, things happen.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I want to also touch on, man, the young man that I had on the show last week, Jamari Young Davis. Shout out to him, man. Great interview, man. That interview did real good. A lot of you guys go back and watch. I think it was over, like 4
It was about 4, I think 4.5.
Yeah, we got a lot of views on that young man, and me and Larry got some things going on with that young gentleman, man. He's gonna be partaking in the LSU camp.
Yes.
So he's got a lot of good things that's coming up for him. And also the kid that we had on before, LaCorey Walker. I don't know if you've seen it today, but this kid is getting offered like crazy.
James, this is a family show. I can't tell that one, but listen, before we get back to LaCorey, but real quick, I'm gonna give the clean edited version. So last week I'm out of town. I'm walking through the airport. I got my cane hat on, and I walk past this guy. He's got a Gators gear on and all of that, and he just happens to look at me, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, yeah. Let's just say I use some language that Cane fans would normally use towards Gators or Seminole fans. And he just stood there like all in shell shock and all because he couldn't believe I said it. Like, yeah, it just don't stop the football season. I can't tell it like I want because it's a family show, but let me just put it out there. Yeah, the cane came out of me in the airport last week. So yeah. But no, getting back to what you were saying about the other young man. Yeah, man, we gotta, get these guys the exposure. They gotta have an opportunity because you got all these kids, man, that's coming out of these big time programs and they get the exposure. But there's so many more that are quality players that don't get the exposure. And it's all on us and others in the community to help them do that. What's up, man? I'm on a mission. So definitely, man, we're gonna look up as many camps as we can and try to put the information out. And if anybody in the chat, if you know a kid in your community that has that talent and maybe ain't getting that look, let us know. And we're gonna get information because hey man, it takes a village. That's what it's all about.
That's right. Thanks, brother. Thanks. Yeah, man. We was talking about LaCorey. I mean, he's been offered. Oh man, we got the fellas in there, man. Niggas all day. That's my God. I mean, yeah, we totally agree, man. I mean, we thought Rambo. I think somebody put up Rambo Hartley. You're right. Totally agree with you, niggas all day dope. QB1 Kane, what's going on? How you doing, brother?
What's happening?
Yeah, but he was offered today with LaCorey. He was offered by Louisville. He was offered by Ole Miss.
Okay.
Iowa State.
Okay.
It's like they rack it up, man. And like I said, he loves Miami, bro. The young man was on with us.
Yeah.
He loves Miami. He ain't been offered yet. So I'm hoping, but they invited him to the camp. He was down at the camp.
Okay.
So I'm just hoping that they go ahead and extend, man, and offer, man.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we gotta keep him in house, man. I mean, the future is here.
I don't even know if Bubba got drafted yet.
I don't think Bubba went anywhere. Yeah. I don't think he went anywhere. Honestly, man, it's just not.
Cannon hollering at you.
Hey, Mr. Cannon, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you.
PR, Darryl Wafer. What's up, buddy?
Darryl, what's happening?
How you doing, brother? What's good? I know the line's open too, man. I'm gonna put the number up if you guys want to start calling up.
And while we're waiting on the calls, man, I just hope that when you start talking about, hey, and that's a good point right there. James beat me to it. What a sad day that schools like Fordham, Villanova, and many others had players drafted before Miami. And that's what I was just about to say. It's all we can do now is look for Mario to turn that trend around. Now, one thing I will say, with Kayvon Thibodeau getting drafted, that makes Mario the second coach to have 3 players gone in the first round. You know who the other one was? Nick Saban.
Oh, really?
Nick Saban, yeah. So no other coach in history has had 3 consecutive first-round draft picks. No, I'm sorry, not first round, top 10. I'm sorry, top 10. That was his 3rd top 10 draft selection. Second coach to do it. With TVD, we were talking about that in the group. TVD will be the 4th, in my opinion. So he may wind up setting the precedent for that.
Wow.
So we just got to hope that, Mario can kind of flip this thing and get it back to where, because on draft day it wasn't if a Kane gets drafted, it's how many Kanes
How
get
many?
drafted
Exactly.
and how high they go.
Exactly.
That was really the draft was to me was boring at times, but the highlight and the fun of the draft was watching our boys get drafted and see where they go. So even on the second day and the third day,
Right. Fila, man, made a good point too, man. What you guys think about the stadium? I love it, man. I think we need our own stadium again. And I love Ruiz, man. I love what Ruiz is doing, man. Ruiz say, man, we're committed to winning, man. With the coaches that they brought in, he's willing to spend money.
Yep. You got the receiver at Pittsburgh. I don't know his name, but I think he's entered the transfer portal. The quarterback that was there has transferred out. Obviously, Pickett got by my Steelers.
Yeah, you with the Steelers.
Yeah, I was glad about that. But the receiver that was there, one of the top guys, he's put his name in there. And hold on, fellas, Mario had one player drafted. Keep an eye. Yeah, he did, but he was still top 10. It's not about, and really with Mario at Oregon, yeah, I see where you're going with that because I know Cuban is still kind of on 50-50 on the fence with Mario, but you can't really hold the equity and the quantity of players getting drafted against Mario. You can't do it. I mean, this is a whole brand new opportunity, and I think he has a different level of player that he's going to be working with at Miami than what he did at Oregon. There will be a supplemental draft, and a few Canes will be in it. Here in the next 2 weeks, it will be announced. Yep, that's how it always happens.
Who you think that's going to be, Brother Blaze? Why you think the two players are going to be? Yeah, Jordan Addison was that wide receiver from Pittsburgh.
There he is. Yep. And listen, if there's anybody at Ruiz needs to start throwing money at, man, hey, man, tweet Addison or something. You know what I'm saying? Do something.
Yes, O'Neal. What's up, family?
What's up, J.O.?
Bam, man. We need to think about Bam.
That Miami Heat stuff, man. Come on, man. Ain't nobody worried about no Miami Heat. Nah.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's going on?
We might be distant kin, though. Who knows?
Yo, thanks for the donation, like always, man. We appreciate you, big dog. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank all you guys, man. You on tonight, man, with you talk, man. You on tonight with you talk. You say Bubba Bolden, Charleston, Rambo.
I was actually surprised that Rambo didn't get drafted because I thought Rambo did enough last year to really get himself an opportunity,
Right. I agree.
Bubba, not so much.
You say Bubba not so much?
Not to me, not so much. I mean, Bubba missed so many tackles and just his fundamentals. I mean, I know he was injured a lot last year, but I just didn't think Bubba. If Bubba would have went 6th or 7th, I'd have been surprised. 7th round, that is, I'd have been surprised.
Oh, okay. Saturday night, man. What are you guys doing, man? Everybody hanging out tonight. We're just chilling. Got my guy in town, man, for the weekend. And we said, let's do one more Saturday show before we go back to Fridays.
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping Harley and Cam Harris as well. Yeah, definitely Mike Harley, man. I thought Mike Harley would have been drafted, like I said, maybe 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah.
I
think Harley, gets an opportunity. Stallion, call us, man. Call us. You gotta complete it right now, man. Hey, man, call us, man. Call us. I want Stallion's take. I want his take. I want to hear what he's got to say because I know he's got a lot to say, just as he put in the chat.
How's everybody doing on Saturday night? Saturday night. How's everybody doing? We sitting out, we kicking it. Got my guy in town. Want to talk a little bit of Canes football for a little while.
Yeah.
Before we go in here and kill this food, man. We got up in here, so
yeah.
Just hanging out.
There he is.
We got the call coming in right now. It's Utah. Call the state your name and where you calling from.
Oh, you already know who this is. It's the Italian Stallion. When Mr. Larry Frank says he wants to hear from the Stallion makes that call. Doesn't even
That's what
hesitate.
it is.
My
That's
God.
what's up, man. James Freeman in the
What
building.
is up? What is up? I'm trying to think. Did we have a show right after the spring game? I know we had that one before, and George was on. But did we have one right after the spring game? I'm trying to remember.
I was out of town. I've been out of town because I was actually out of town for the spring game because I was watching it from my hotel.
Because I know
George,
Devin interviewed the recruit. I know he interviewed the recruit, but I didn't think we had an official show after the spring game.
I don't think we had a post spring game show. Yeah, I think he's right because you had the one with George the night before, and then you had the one with the young man. Yeah, because that's been the last 2 consecutive weeks because I've been out of town. So no, there was no post spring game show.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well then what I'll do is I'm going to start from today, or the last 3 days rather, I should say, and then we'll work our way backwards. That's what we'll do and everything. So, and listen, I'm not watching obviously because I'm on, and so if anybody's got a question or what they think my thoughts are, please read them to me and so forth because I can't see the screen. But this is what I got to say about these last 3 days. And I think I mentioned it in our brotherhood chat that we have of Canes fans. But the first round was deplorable to not see one Cane. And I was like, well, it's more par for the course. We'll have a bunch of guys that, will get drafted on day 3 between rounds 4 and 7. That's kind of been the norm here as of late, guys going when they shouldn't and all that good stuff. But the truth of the matter is we almost didn't even get that today. And that's how far and how sad that it has really gotten. And honestly, it just shows. And I'm the most guilty of it. I'm the most guilty. To be fair, I actually had thoughts that we could compete against Alabama as I walked in that Georgia Dome talking all that trash, and my voice was quiet within 5 minutes, honestly. Right. I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. I mean, I was talking so much garbage, doing the Al Blades chant from back in the day that isn't related for this. And I had some other Canes fans trying to believe. Meanwhile, I'm hearing Alabama fans saying, you guys aren't even as good as our second team scout team. And the sad part is they were right. And I realized it. And I was like, wow. But here's the other thing. And I know that he was coaching another team, but somebody was in Mario's ear. Somebody was in his ear, and somebody said, listen, if we do all this, you have got to come back here. And he's like, well, if I'm going to come back here, this is what's got to change. He knew what this roster had and what it didn't have. And you're seeing these guys hightail it because, as Larry and me and you, Devin, have discussed, this is a business. This isn't personal. These guys, God love them, they are playing college football, but they aren't Miami Hurricane football players. Okay, they are not. And, when I see Worsham, I'm actually kind of sad that the punter, the Australian punter kid left or whatever, because I thought he was going to be the heir apparent after our dude graduated this year, but I guess he just didn't want to stick around. But I'm sure Mario will find somebody to punt it away. But I'm hoping, to be honest with you, we never have to punt next year. So go figure with that.
Right.
But I remember one year that Al Golden said that that kid O'Donnell that used to boot the ball for the Bears or what have you, he was our best player, and I was like, that's pretty bad when you say that the punter's the best player on the team and so forth. That's not what Miami Hurricane football is all about, and it was coming, guys, of what today was, and it's over. And I really predict that from here on going forward, whether it's TVD or anybody else in the future that really shows out, we are going to have first round picks, and then it's going to become multiple first round picks and guys drafted throughout the draft, and that's what Mario's going to get done. I believe that. Some of these guys want to just point out any negative they think they can, but for once, guys, let's just be positive of where we're at. I mean, Mario's identifying the weaknesses right now. He is. Why do you think he went and got 11 transfer portal guys at very key positions? And I don't think he's done. I made the prediction before even this Jordan Addison thing came out, and it may just be smoke and mirrors. He might just be looking for an NIL deal to stick around there at Pitt. Who knows? But at the same time, the ESPN article said that he already's got a relationship with the kid that's a quarterback that's there at USC. And on top of that, why wouldn't he want to be paired with TVD? He went from one first rounder in Kenny Pickett. He could go to another one at the rival school and make sure he's prime time every week and be the deep threat that we need. I mean, him and Restrepo and Ladson and Jacoby George. I mean, that's a heck of 4 wide receivers. Not to mention you got a trio of tight ends, and even a guy that really, I don't know if he's going to transfer or not, and I hope he doesn't. Khalil Brantley showed that he could be a 4th tight end in the mix with Mallory out. I mean, he was catching the ball in the spring game and actually getting yards after the catch. So those are all weapons that we have, and we don't even need to even talk about the running back room, because you only saw the 3rd or 4th string guy taking the majority of the carries because Rooster was out and so was Chaney recovering from that knee, and Citizen Kane isn't even on campus yet. So he could show out come August. I mean, and so the thing is that Mario's identifying he wants to win now. That's the most important thing. He wants to win now. He's got a first-round talent in TVD. And as much as I'd love for him to stick around, I mean, the thing is, he knows that he's got TVD for this year. He knows he's got Charlie Strong for this year. He knows that he has Josh Gaddis this year. And so the thing is that realistically, these guys may not be there next year. They might be head coaches at other schools. The TVD is definitely going to be in the NFL. And so the truth of the matter is he's looking around. He's like, I don't have this depth at this position. Let me go get the guys to make it happen. I mean, we had no pass rush at all in that spring game. I don't care who was playing and who wasn't. And so he went out and got guys that can definitely contribute. And let's not everybody forget that, the 2001 team was comprised of guys that we recruited, but let's not forget that they also had guys from junior colleges that contributed and made themselves household names. Jerome McDougal, Andrew Williams, and Jeremy Shockey. So the 2001 team wasn't just recruits that came through Butch and everything. They were also identified at junior colleges at that time, because it was a different landscape back then. So why can't we identify the talent at other schools? What do you guys think?
You do what you got to do. In other words, it's kind of like when you're building a house, or not building, when you're renovating a house. You may not, what's up, Rob Dukes? You may not be able to get everything you want, but you do what you got to do to make it a home. And that's the key. So, yeah, I'd love for Mario or whatever, or any of the other coaches that we had, to build this team into a national power via recruiting 100%.
Right.
We would love that. But let's just face it, the face of college football has changed.
Yep.
And what you have to do is you work with the best of both worlds. And guess what? Right now, the transfer portal has become as vital as natural recruiting. So as a successful coach, not only do you have to build through your recruiting through the high schools, you have to be able to get some top-notch guys through the portal and plug them in holes. And you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to plug them in holes that you're lacking, or you're going to bolster your team and make them even stronger, because you may have something. You may have a guy, you might be good at on the defensive line, but you got a guy that wants to come to Miami. So guess what? Get him and let him compete for the spot. And no matter what happens, you've just strengthened your team. So a lot of people I see, and we see it all the time, they hate the transfer portal. They say that's ruined college football. They hate the NIL. They say that's ruined college football. But let's be honest. The NIL has been going on forever. It just wasn't needed. It's been doing it. Yeah. People hate it. The only ones that hate are the ones that have been benefiting from it for years under the table. Those are the people that hate it. So, and the ones that hate the transfer portal are the ones that have been dominating these rosters being built at these powerhouse schools. You know why? Because the transfer portal now gives everybody else an equal playing field. It puts us in a position where, you know what, now we can maybe not necessarily contend with Alabama, but we can be in the conversation and start working towards contending with Alabama in due time. Whereas if we were just strictly recruiting, you're not going to be able to recruit enough alone to be able to get back to contending with Alabama and the big boys in time. So honestly, bro, that's how I see it, man. It's here to stay. And listen, maximize it. do what you got to do. And the way Mario has done it, hey, man, getting all them guys, especially on the defensive line and those few offensive linemen that he also got. And hey, man, continue. I think there's only 2 days left or whatever.
Larry White just said that's a
He
great
did.
point.
Hey, and like I
dog.
say, it's like with instant grits, man. Just add water, just you do what you got to do.
That's right.
And
That's
guess what?
right.
You will get lucky, and via the transfer portal, you will get some guys. I
Great
think we
point.
got a couple. I don't have my notes in front of me right now, but I know we got a couple that have 2 and 3 years of eligibility left.
Mm-hmm.
All we
And they'll
did was
contribute.
basically go get guys that we could have recruited that we missed out on with Manny, and they just played a season or two somewhere else, and the rest of their eligibility, now they're coming to play the rest of it with us. All we did was just basically recruit. You had, like, maybe, I hate to say it, but it was like ladder indirect recruiting. So go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, and the other thing, and I'm so glad you touched on it, Larry, and I want that the Utah family to understand how much is really going on behind the scenes, even now that you can be upfront with the NIL deals. I mean, it's no secret what this Diaz guy has done, and the Moss brothers, and all these billionaires that have made this happen, that are Canes people. For once, who says that Miami doesn't have people that care about the program? I kept wondering, who are these dogs down in Alabama that are with the money and everything down there? Because it's like a really poor state, and it's like, we're talking about Miami. One street you got Bentleys, and the next you got broken down Buicks. But at the same time, there's money down there, and it's like, why is it not being spent? And the truth of the matter is that now it is. You got a kid that just talk basketball for a second, that whether that story was true or not, he hijacked the team saying my NIL deal wasn't good enough, and then all of a sudden he's still on the team or whatever. He was threatening to go to the transfer portal, their best player from last year. I mean, so, and not to take away from football, but at the same time, it's like, what's going to happen next is the big deal. But the thing is unlike Florida State and Florida and some of these other teams that are kind of crying wolf and foul, it's because they weren't organized and had the guys in place to make this NIL thing, get going. Honestly, and that Lambert fellow was the guy doing it last year for Miami that did some of the deals, and now with this Diaz guy and his life wallet, he's really throwing the money around at these kids, and it's going to be a game changer for Miami. And if they upgrade the facilities, the city sells itself. I mean, beautiful beach weather, girls. I mean, it sells itself, or what have you. And I'm sorry, there ain't nothing to do in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I've been there before, so there ain't. I mean. But let me talk about the spring game real quick of what I saw, because the thing is how awesome was it to watch? And let me tell you this, I've watched spring games like I had spoken about on the show before, that, we didn't even have, like, if we had a 0-0 game one time or something. I mean, they didn't even get creative with the scoring. You had guys that were punters playing receiver. You didn't even have enough guys on the roster to fulfill two teams, to make a first versus second team, and so forth. But I was actually happy with the spring game. Sure, they didn't show that much, but at the same time, it was so nice to see the energy and the passion from the coaches from top to bottom. I mean, you even saw my boy Feld out there yelling all the time and so forth. He had his little hat on and the Miami Hurricanes muscle shirt and everything, but he was out there yelling, and you had the defensive line coach, doing his thing, getting the guys fired up, and it was just such a difference than what was seen in last year, even, and it was so nice to have fans there, past this COVID thing that kind of really ruined a lot of things for a lot of people and so many things. But honestly, I'm just so happy with where this program is and the recruits that are going to start committing and what they're looking at. I mean, they're identifying players, they're identifying needs, and guys are committing. And now it's harder than you think, but we just got to win. We just got to win, and they'll stick with their commitment and go on and make this program as great as we all know it can be. We just have to just be patient and believe. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm looking at that schedule more and more. And I know crazy stuff can happen. It's football, but you look at that schedule. I mean, that A&M game can really define this season. And I love that we have 2 games to get ready for it. You know, maybe not show all the cards, but work on some things that you want. And you go there with house money. You got nothing to lose that game. If anything, the pressure's going to be on them to show do they belong, because they're going to be a preseason top 5 team. Game day's probably going to be there. It's probably going to be the 8 o'clock ABC Saturday night game. And, you know, realistically, we could play spoiler. And why not us? Why not us? It's just Jimbo Fisher. This isn't somebody here that is a great coach. I mean, that's a coach that, with all the talent he had, almost lost to Auburn in that fourth quarter had they just not collapsed in that 2013 national championship game. He's underachieved, and they lost to a terrible LSU team last year. They did. And yeah, they beat Alabama, but I mean, Alabama gave that game away there at the end, honestly. And that wasn't like a powerhouse Alabama. And realistically, look at college football, guys. And Larry, you follow it like me. Look at college football right now. Other than the usual suspects from the SEC, and then you got to throw your Ohio State in there just because of the Big Ten being what it is. And maybe you throw, you used to be able to throw Oklahoma in there because of the Big 12. But realistically, ask yourselves, you know, Clemson's kind of, you know, there's a lot of question marks there. Look at college football. They're going to do a preseason top 25, as they always do. And you look at those teams, and I don't see, other than the usual suspects of the Alabama and the Georgias, I don't see a sexy team that screams to me they're a national title contender. So why not Miami?
At all.
Why not?
I totally agree. I totally agree, because, I mean, look, let's face it. Even with Ohio State, you got to keep them in consideration because they're Ohio State. But if you look at the meat and the potatoes of the thing, Ohio State just lost to Michigan. When was the last time that happened? For that to happen,
2012
that tells me,
or something like that. So
okay,
yeah,
a decade. There you go. It's been a long time. So with them just losing to Michigan last year, and I don't think Michigan was that good. I don't think anybody thought Michigan was that good. You know, so for you to lose to Michigan, and they lost to Oregon as well, you've taken a couple of steps back, in my opinion. And I never thought Ryan Day was the guy for the job. You know, to me, I thought Luke Fickell got a raw deal. I think Luke Fickell should have been kept as the head coach there, but obviously the brass there wanted to go in another direction at the time. But Ohio State will win their usual 9-10 games. It'll come down to them in Michigan. But to me, Ohio State is not that threat that they once were. And you're right, Oklahoma, same thing with them. They may win 8-9 games or whatever, but they're not a threat. I don't see them offensively putting up the numbers anymore now that Lincoln is out there in California. You know, Venables is the defensive guy, and they don't have a lot, in my opinion, that offensively, because a lot of that, well, not a lot, but a few pieces went to USC, but a lot of the rest of the guys on offense and a lot of that team bolted. So Oklahoma, I don't think, is even going to make any noise. Texas is still a question mark. You know, Florida's a question mark, you know. So, yeah, man, it's wide open. Why not Miami? I agree.
Yeah, and let's not forget, we have 4 other teams in the Coastal that are breaking in first-year coaches. Mario's been coaching off and on since he took over FIU, and may I add that his record would be a lot better overall if he hadn't been at FIU, but he still took them to a bowl game and gave them their first winning season. I mean, look what all he did down there for them, and he just got better as a coach, learning from Saban himself. I can't stress that enough, and he has surrounded himself with the best assistant coaches staff, in my opinion, that you can buy right now, and they're all in, and they all have something to prove. You know, Gaddis has got something to prove. So does Charlie Strong. You know, I mean, everybody's got something to prove there, and I think that they know what they need to do to get this done. And you look at these other coastal teams. The Virginia Tech guy, he's an alum, but he's never been he's never been a head guy. Right. It's a big step from going from a coordinator or an assistant to being the guy, honestly. And realistically, I feel better about our situation than any of those other coaches that are starting out in our division or on the other side of the ACC.
Yeah, bro. In our division, and we talk about this a couple of times. I mean, just on the coastal side. I mean, you got Mario, who's been doing it for a long time, but you know, we got to have faith in him because of all of the things you named: the staff, the players, the experience. Now, on the other side, you got Virginia, you got Virginia Tech, you got Duke, all three of them breaking in new coaches. Georgia Tech has a second-year coach. And, North Carolina, I truly believe, and I keep saying it, and I'm going to continue saying it. Mark my words, Mac Brown is retiring this year.
Think so?
I think so. Mac Brown is going to retire this year because Mac is old.
I agree.
Mac had Sam Howell. He's gone. He lost that talent. He got a couple of pieces in there, but anything 7-6 or less, 6-7 or whatever, barely bowl eligible, Mac is going to hang his boots up this year. Mark it, book it. I want you guys to book it. April 30th, 2022. I'm saying it again. Mac Brown will retire. So that Coastal is ours for the taking. Honestly, we should have beat Florida State last year with Manning in Tallahassee. So with Mario on South Beach, down south in Miami, we're gonna beat them. We owe them that much. Mm-hmm. It's a done deal. It's a foregone conclusion.
Oh yeah.
And Clemson is a very even shot. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well. I wanted you to finish what you said, Larry. But all I was going to add is that the two toughest teams in the Coastal, with the two established coaches, you both get them at home this year: North Carolina and Pitt. And Pitt's the last game is Senior Day, and could be TVD's last home game if the season goes the way I think it does. That's huge.
Yeah.
They ain't losing to Pitt that last game. They're not going to lose to Pitt that last game. Not with so much on the table. So
I forgot, James. Is Narduzzi still a coach at Pitt, or do they have a new coach as well?
He's still there. He's actually, him and Mac are actually right now, if you can believe this, kind of the lead dogs right now in terms of who's been at their program the longest in the Coastal, with four teams breaking in a new coach, and then you look at. The other side, realistically, it's Dorn, Clausen, and obviously, Clemson coach Dabo or whatever. They've been there, as the established guys there on the other side and everything. Mm-hmm. But realistically, the Atlantic it has the established guys because Satterfield's been there a while at Louisville now. Norvell's going into his third season at FSU. And, as Florida State fans, how they feel about Mike Norvell. You talk about the money that they're probably going to, try to throw at Dion. And I hope he turns them down. I hope he stays at Jackson State and keeps getting guys over there. Honestly, I mean, they crapped on him. They could have given him that job a couple of years ago. I hope he gives them the finger again. Honestly. So,
I look at that real quick. I'm glad you brought that up because I want to highlight that. I look at that Deion Sanders thing in Jackson State. And at first I thought it was a joke. I thought he was, and like, Deion, what are you doing? I thought it was his ego kicking in again. But as I've watched him the last couple of seasons, how invested he is into that team, how much he's pushing those young men, and not just on the football field, but he's trying to mold them into men. And I really don't think at least Florida State, I don't think he would leave to go to Florida State. I think he's too invested in that team right now. So, and listen, Jackson State's winning. I mean, they didn't win the Celebration Bowl, but they did win the SWAC. So he's got a lot. And then listen, his daughter just committed to play, I think, basketball or volleyball over there. He's got his two sons on the football team. He ain't leaving.
No, they ain't leaving. No, and it would take something monumental, and Florida State don't have that money. They're still playing. They're still playing Slick Willie for buying him out and everything. That's and now you're going to buy out another coach. I mean, they just do not. There's a reason Jimbo left them, and they don't know how good they had it with that guy. Even though I was never really that impressed. I mean, look, he only looked impressive because look at who was coaching both Florida and Miami during those years, honestly. And that's what looked very good for him. And the ACC really, Clemson has finally kind of turned it around. And that's when he hightailed it and everything, right? When Clemson was turning it around and everything. And realistically, you look at that ACC, it's there for the taking. And I look back at last season, and I think that, you talk about a proclamation you made about Mac. I'm right there in agreement with you, brother. But I look at what Miami is doing right now as of April 30th, 2022. I just look back at last year, and still say, how did we lose to this? How did we lose to that team? And here's the thing that's really going to let everybody really think about something. Look at the draft today, guys. You had one guy, and he wasn't even that big time of a player that got drafted in Jonathan Ford in the 7th round. But yet you were a couple plays away from being 10-2, with definite losses being to Michigan State and Alabama. And who knows, maybe Michigan State could have been different if TVD is in there in the second half slinging the ball around, as opposed to poor De'Aaron King, who's playing with a hurt shoulder and a torn meniscus. Suffered in game 1 on the same knee. He rushed back 8 months too soon. Nobody gets back from an ACL in 8 months. Nobody does. But but I admired the kid for trying, because he cared, because he was putting everything in the basket. But the truth of the matter is it had to play out that way, boys. Because here's the scariest thought: Manny Diaz could still be our coach.
And we're gonna end it on that one.
Yeah. Love you guys. Go Canes. A lot of positive stuff. Keep it going. Go Canes.
Thank you, bro.
Right, man. Thank you, James Freeman.
Yes, sir. That's our guy.
James Freeman, baby. Hey, look at you guys. Hey, man, we want to just come on for a little while tonight. I like that.
You telling the truth, though. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Listen, man, I want to thank all of you guys who tuned in tonight. You just want to come on and say what's up, man, for a little while. Like I said, we got Larry Frank in the city. Appreciate you having coming in tonight, man. In the city tonight, man. So you guys, man, y'all shout out my boy Larry Frank, man. He's in the A. Shout out to our brother, man, Larry Frank Jr. So Larry Frank, give us some supporting words so we can get out of here, man.
Man, look, I have fun every week doing this from Louisiana. On my side, I'm having just as much, if not more, fun doing it live from the A right now. Love the show, love the family, love the chat, love what we do as a group. So, man, nothing but love and blessings going out to each and every one of you in the chat.
You guys already know, man. We love you guys. I appreciate all of you guys, man, for the support, the love. And like I say, man, it's November 11th is the date. Georgia Tech versus Miami. You talk Hurricane Bash here in the city.
Alan, I'm working on FSU, bro. I'm working on FSU. Be ready for me.
Look at Cuban King. We definitely had to play our brother before we get out of here. Yeah, man. Salute to your Heat. You're doing your thing right now, Cuban King. We ain't haters. You already know.
I ain't gonna hate on you. Shouts out to you. Y'all gonna have a great run to the Eastern Conference Finals before Giannis sends y'all home.
Exactly.
Do your thing, bro.
You too, Jeffrey O'Neal. Y'all will be home soon. Y'all will be right beside us.
Yeah. Look, we got a spot right
beside.
Right here.
Go park it. Larry White Jr., man, what's going on, man? My brother, man, what's good, man? What's up, Larry White Jr., the big dog? What it do, man? Allen Johnson, man. You guys, everybody, man, enjoy your weekend. What's ever left of it, man? We appreciate you guys tuning into the show tonight. We love all of you guys. So y'all know how we start every show, and you know how we end every show. It ain't no us. Without you, baby.
Without you, baby.
And we out, man. You guys enjoy your night, man. Enjoy your weekend, man. It's time for good Larry Frank to go and get some dinner. You guys take care. Stay safe. Love you guys. It's Utah.
Yeah, I want to show some love, give some support to my boy Devin, founder of Utah Nation. Continuous success, brother. And all I got to say is, it ain't no me without you, baby.
It ain't no me without you, baby.
It ain't no me without you, baby.
Yeah. You talk, it's the people show. Look, you talk, let the people know. Look, yeah.
This is hurricane season. Only legends come up out there, you like Chris and Teigen. Name a letter better, W, that's what we preaching. Hurricane force winds whenever we breezing. Got rings for a reason. Look, we treat a gator like the swamp people. And Seminoles like the block people. And for my dogs, I will drop people. Just being frank, I got they flank like a cornerback. And I ain't even much a Florida cat. But hurricanes, I know more of that than most. Cause I seen them turn our houses into boats. That's that real talk, baby. I hope you was taking notes. That's the real talk, baby. Yellow Nation, coast to coast. Is that Utah?
Yeah.
It's Utah, baby.
Yeah.
It's Utah, baby.
#1 podcast.